Hey, you know what gets a lot of attention online? It gets a lot of attention online and a lot of opinions, but very little understanding. Hunting with hounds. Not the version you see clipped down in 30 seconds. Not the version argued in the comments sections. Not the version imagined by people who have never done it. I'm talking about the real thing. The ground, the dark, the responsibility. Because if you've never followed a dog through the dark, you probably should not be lecturing those that have. Let that sink in. And I don't say that to insult anyone. I say it because experience matters. There's a difference between watching something and actually doing it. There's a difference between watching part of something and actually doing it. If you watch someone weld metal, it doesn't make you a welder. If you watch someone fly a plane, that doesn't make you a pilot. You can watch hunting videos all day long. Does that make you knowledgeable about hunting dogs? Hunting with hounds is learned the hard way, by walking miles, by listening, by failing, by learning when to act and when not to. Once the dog's open, the responsibility never stops. Not until every dog is accounted for and at home. So no, if you've never hunted with dogs, you're not an expert on it. That's not arrogance. That's reality. Here's something critics almost never understand. Scale. Most houndsmen I know are not hunting little patches of land behind a house. Our club hunts 10,000 acres, and we're a small club. Some of the men I hunt with regularly are running dogs on 20 and 30,000 acres. Think about that. That's a lot of land. That kind of ground demands discipline, it demands planning, and it demands communication. If you run dogs across that kind of acreage without knowing where your dogs are, where property lines are, and where roads are, and when to shut things down, that isn't backyard hunting. That's real responsibility. You go to the house of a serious houndsman, you'll see trucks, jeeps, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, boats. Those aren't toys. Those aren't toys. They're tools. Some houndsmen own land, many lease land, often multiple parcels. Some of those leases cost more than a new vehicle, and they're paid every year. That money goes directly into rural communities, and that matters whether people want to acknowledge it or not. Then there are the dogs. Every houndsman I know has at least 2. Many have 10. Some have 30 or more. That's buying dog food by the pallet. Now we're going to talk about vet care, vaccinations, medication, kennels, training. Nobody that neglects an animal does that. These dogs are partners, and partners are taken care of. Many of the hunting dogs that I see with my family and friends have better medical care than most people I talk to. And this idea that hunting with dogs is outdated, that idea is just wrong. We use GPS collars, telemetry systems, radios, not for convenience, but for control. Knowing where the dogs are is not optional. it's responsibility. Here's the part that you almost never hear about. Houndsmen give back. I was personally involved in a charity hunt where a child needed service dog. The family needed tens of thousands of dollars. Through a competition hunt and a charity auction, we raised that money and more in less than 4 hours. No cameras, no headlines, just people helping. I've taken children and their guardians on hunts through the Juvenile Diabetes Association program. As a person with diabetes, it's a thing close to my heart. I've seen toy drives organized so that kids would not go without Christmas. Many of these same men are volunteer firefighters. They don't just talk about service, they live it. I personally have 2 dogs, Carter and Lucinda. I've had them since they were puppies. I watched them open their eyes, and I started working with them as soon as their little eyes opened. I've got a video of Lucinda at about 5 months old trying to jump in the back of my truck. Nobody made her do it. She knew where she belonged. Many people are amazed at how I can work these 2 dogs off leash. They listen, they respond, they follow hand signals, they follow signals that don't come from gadgets. It comes from time. I'm going to take you back to an event that happened late December. The dogs were running a deer towards the path I was on. I could hear Carter's bark echoing through the trees. I could see him on the GPS. The deer came out. I've actually got video of it. The deer came out right in front of me. I put the rifle up, looked at the deer, decided I really didn't want to clean that little deer today. So I let the deer go, and moments later, Carter broke through the trees. I called his name and told him to stop. He turned, looked at me, broke off the deer, and came straight to me. One of my cousins was standing there next to me. He looked at me and said, "Now that's a finished dog." But what does that mean, a finished dog? That moment that we witnessed was 8 years in the making. When Carter was 8 months old, there was no chance in the world I could have stopped him. He was like a wild tornado. He'd have been several hundred yards away from me by the time I got through saying, "Come here." And that's normal. You've got to work with them and train them. He still runs today. The difference is how he listens. A finished dog isn't one that stops hunting. It's one that hunts with control. So before you judge, before you lecture, and before you turn opinions into facts, ask yourself one question. Have you followed a dog through the dark? If the answer is no, it might be time to listen. Hey, thanks for following along tonight. Thanks for being here and listening. I've got the Facebook page that you know about. I'm also on YouTube, Rumble. I'm going to be on X and several other platforms. The algorithm's tough on me. 1 minute they're showing you my stuff, and the next minute they're shadow banning me and telling me I've been bad and slapping my hand. So the goal is to be on multiple platforms, and maybe at least one of them won't have me in social media jail. So like, subscribe, follow, whichever platform you're looking at this on. Do what they say, ring the bell, ask for notifications, and thanks for being there.